You know what I
Everybody
mean?
who's passionate about something is snobby about it.
Yeah,
You
that's
with
true.
movies, me with music. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so then now I've got a handful of videos that we can kind of react to,
Okay.
and a couple of them are kind of famous auditions
Oh,
that we can kind of comment on
all right.
of people that were in prominent roles and in a movie that was a very successful movie. So I kind of want to get your take on it, and then I'll kind of give my little take on it. So
All right.
let me see like what we can start off here. Okay, we'll do this one first. This was actually pretty good.
I will give you my layman's take.
Okay, so this one is where are you? Oh, there here. Okay, and I know this is a girly movie, and a bunch of guys have been dragged through the decades to watch this movie with their girl. Is The Notebook?
Oh God, yeah.
But this shows the scene and then the audition of Rachel McAdams, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it sort of does kind of a comparison of what she auditioned with and then what the scene turned out to be. So it's actually kind of a cool thing.
Okay.
So as a person that enjoys movies, what do you think about that audition?
All right, I'll start with this. She's drop dead gorgeous. First off,
That helps.
I thought she was great, really excellent. And the part of her I noticed most are her eyes. I was fixated on them while she was acting. I thought it was great. Now, was the guy she was playing off of, was he the actor too, or was he just?
No, I think he might have. He's probably casting.
Oh, okay, good, because he sucked.
Yeah,
Right,
probably casting. He's just reading lines.
But she was. I think that was excellent.
She was believable in an audition.
Mm-hmm.
I pictured this character. If I'm the one reading the lines, and I have an actress come up to me that does this, where do I sign up at?
Yep.
She was believable in the audition. Can you imagine what she's going to be like in the movie?
Yep. And it's on a personal level. I've had discussions with women, not this particular one, but where that, like, I was seeing a couple women that I've talked to when I was younger in her, like just the emotional reaction when they're scared, which is kind of what I get she's going for. She seems afraid. But no, I thought she was great.
There's conversations in real life that I have with people that I don't believe. I believe that they're a LARPer when it comes, and they lie through their fucking teeth to make them look out to be the hero. In this, I don't get that. She shows vulnerability, and the reaction that she has on her face in her audition knocks it out of the freaking park.
Yeah, it's a very feminine portrayal.
Yes. I wouldn't say that she's a fantastic actress because she's had kind of a inconsistent career. I'll probably say it's been inconsistent, but this audition is fantastic because she comes across real. She comes across authentic, and she's acting and doing a part. That, in my opinion, that makes good acting. Because the audience is going to pick up on that. You picked up on that. As somebody that watches movies, that enjoys movies, storytelling, and etc., you picked up on that she came across real in an audition.
I must admit, I feel a little bad that my first comment was she was really pretty, but that was my first reaction. Basically, like I was like, I'd love to see more of her on screen. If she's in the movie, I'm happy watching it.
Come on, she's gorgeous. So
yeah, amazing. I mean, she's my type too. Like,
yeah. But yeah, when I'd seen this, I saw this a while ago, and then I brought it up for the video. Like, it blew me away how engaged she was, how much she understood the character that she was playing, the emotion that she brought. She could tear up, like she wasn't crying, but you could see she was welling up during that time because she has some sort of connection with the character. She's not just showing up to an audition.
Sure,
that's what makes a good actress. There's LARPers and people that actually take their craft seriously. She took it seriously.
I guess that kind of goes back to my question earlier. What makes it like when people go, well, I could do that. I guess they would be the LARPers, where actually there is some work that you put in.
because they're trying to be famous. They're not actually trying to have a reputation. They're not trying to develop their craft.
I think it's the talent that goes into acting is far more subtle than it is in other creative, like music. I always go back to it because I'm a musician. So
Yeah,
that's
no, it's all
all right.
good.
So if I go to a show and I see fucking Eddie, well, I wouldn't see Eddie Van Halen now, but let's just say I'm back in the
Pretend.
90s.
Yeah.
I look at him and go, there's no way in hell I could do that. That's him, whereas acting, you don't kind of get that when you watch somebody. You just go, oh, they just walk in, they read lines, look good, and go
Oh, they're
home.
just an actor. Oh, then
Yeah. And
because
same with artistry, like painting. I look at a painting, I'm like, fuck, I couldn't do that,
because people see the perception of what Hollywood is, and TMZ, and the and some of these crazy actors saying dumb shit. That's what they perceive. This is what I care about. I care about the actual the nuts and bolts talent of people, the storytelling, getting
It must
people
bother
getting
you that
emotion
that's
from
not the
it.
focus on
Most
this
people don't give a
industry.
shit. Yeah, most people don't give a shit. It's about how many dollars and cents I can get, and I don't give a fuck about this project.
Plus, as an audience, they're not as passionate as you are about your creativity or I am about mine. They don't
Yeah,
see the work that goes into it. They don't care as much. They care about, oh, that's an interesting story. I'll go follow that.
which I wish people would. I wish people would appreciate stuff more.
Me too.
Unfortunately, they don't.
I agree.
And I'm not saying they have to be a fanboy or fangirl, but I wish that people would appreciate talent and authenticity. If that's probably the word to use for it, I
Yeah,
wish
being
people would appreciate stuff more, and people don't.
authenticity, being genuine. But
Yeah,
there's nothing better, Derek. I'm sure when I play a song to somebody that's finished and they pick up something like, "Ooh, the strings are nice there." That's a nice subtle touch. When somebody hears with those types of ears, I'm very appreciative. I'm like, "Shit, they got it. Like that was what I was going for." Most people, they don't hear the little subtleties like that.
yeah. Do you think it's because people are just so busy and don't care, or do you think they're just not a creative person and don't understand the process of that side of?
The
Uh,
latter,
uh,
I think. I think
you
it's
think
they
it's kind of
just
both?
yeah, as somebody who's so attached to the creative process like you are and like I am sometimes is I guess we have to understand that some people don't have the eye for it or the ear for it, or it's just not their passion. So they're not listening for the little nuances that we think are so important. I mean, I'll spend an hour on a note. Should it be this note or that note? But 90% of the people who listen never, they wouldn't notice the difference.
Yeah, as long as those notes strung together come up with something
Yeah.
that they like.
Yeah. And I can't even get mad at that because can't blame people for not.
Yeah, I can't blame people either. It's just that's just one wish that I wish that people would appreciate stuff more.
Yeah.
I think without getting too not getting political or anything, but just in life, people need to start appreciating stuff more as opposed to tearing it down and saying it sucks. And acting in
I agree.
Hollywood is the same thing. You know what I mean? Like
And
there's a
understand
bunch of
how,
fucking weirdos. Don't get me wrong, but there are some good things out there.
and also understanding how, lack of a better term, precious the creative process is, that there are people, including us, that this song doesn't exist in the world. And then it enters my brain and now it exists. It's an amazing process to go through.
Yeah.
And I think it's regardless of the outcome, I think the process in itself is inspiring to begin with.
And do you think that people would appreciate more, whatever it is, if you're a candy maker, if they saw the process? Do you think people would appreciate it more, or do you think people just think it's boring and move
No,
on?
no, I know they would appreciate it more because I when I had a music studio,
Like they can actually see it, or they can actually
yeah,
hear it for themselves.
we would have buddies come over just to hang out,
Mhm.
drink a couple beers, watch the band, and they would see us going through or usually it was me or somebody leading the band. Hey, that should be this there. And I think I heard from a couple of them like that was really interesting. Like I'd never seen, a band go through that. Just like if I went to one of your movie shoots, I'd probably learn all kinds of stuff. Like, holy smokes, that's a lot of detail that goes into it. I
Yeah,
would have never thought of.
where to stand, where the light hits, your lines. If some
Yep.
doesn't if something doesn't sound correct, then changing the line so it does sound correct.
But
So that,
I would have a head start on understanding your process, I think, Derek, because it's somewhat similar to my process when I write
yeah,
stuff. So I would kind of get it. I'm like, okay, I see he's going for some sort of nuance here. And
it's
so
kind
I
of a
may not understand the
symphony.
particulars, but I would. What's that?
Yeah, it's like a symphony. It's like being a
Yeah,
conductor in a symphony. You know what I mean?
right,
Yeah.
right. And sometimes you got to trust other people to play the violin right, which is while you conduct.